AT&T taunting. They can do that with all their vehicles. They're letting me know that they are an incredibly active part in America's hijacked lifelines. Look for the loudest places where they have their fleets, including Spectrum, bought Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. Look for the places where they are the loudest, and you do those military children's burn unit checks with them on speakerphone and in person. Why can't I reach Mr. Brady? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? Because of your bloody hands, Randall Stevenson. Conducting political, religious, and business lifeline censorship as well, most importantly. When else will you threat to our security? What else are you threatening our security with, Randall? Call them up 24/7. Oh, except this one. He's turning his noise off. But all of them. You get them when they got home from the bar, they've been smoking some weed, Randall's been overworking them, and they will tell you what else they're doing besides hijacking America's lifeline to compromise our security. So AT&T's Randall Stevenson, as an executive in his office, and he says, you remember telling me all about that ex-wife of yours? And he pulls the cloth over this little tub there, and it's, yes, the blood. Randall, does a lot of donating to hospitals and stuff, buys wings so that he can do just that. And yes, that ex-wife won't be getting that alimony anymore. And he has that exec listen in on that frantic call that didn't reach emergency services. And they both dipped their hands in that blood. This is Easter Sunday. Me and Gold alone on Easter Sunday because of the devil Lori, her hatred, personal knife in the back, and a whole lot of impersonators as well. This is my A list. Not necessarily best, but just A for Flight 93 chicks from last month. I'm going to put this up at the front, hopefully. That is the dangerous Mormon Muslim cults, Mormon cult, Muslim cult, Chinese on hand, desperate as anything. Setting off a fire alarm on Easter Sunday to terrorize a man in a wheelchair. Do those military children's burn unit Flight 93 checks with all of Solari Enterprises and enjoy this collection, and make sure you pick up that phone and make a video of your hijack call to me right now. This is my B list for April 2019 Flight 93 check videos. Oh, also looking for the Muslim Mormon cult watch call list folder and the AT&T, their bloody hands, that folder. This is what they did on Easter Sunday. I'm spending Easter Sunday alone because of a lot of very personal knives in the back and a whole lot of impersonators. They set up a fire alarm, and yes, when I had to spend 3 long years in Hussein's Little Arabia, they did that often there too. Same at the Wine Cart Center. Had to make myself homeless to eat because of California. Ginfengia and Libertana. Oh, look into that's in the back, but this is just a welcome to the B. Not necessarily the second best, but splitting it up so it's about an hour each. Set off that fire alarm on Easter to terrorize a man in a wheelchair. Not only that, placed a child in red, for those of you who are making documentaries, out on the walkway out there. So as I turn it, there's a kid on the walkway, to dissuade me from using the the video, and just now as I'm joining, I'm listening to it or watching it, and they put some hate music in there. They literally used high-tech toys to place that in. So, yeah, spread the word. Get me my disciples. And I'll show you how to dismantle the Great Wall of Chinese evil brick by brick and what it does worldwide. I promise. Get me those disciples. I'll show you how. Poor organ donor, rich organ recipient, the image is making the rounds from the son of a carpenter in Maryland. And Doc Gladstone is talking to this guy. And he says, yeah, he's a goner, but he doesn't want to sign that paper donating his organs. So we need your help. You're about his size, his look. You lay on the bed, and in front of all those witnesses, you sign. And yes, Steve does that, and the doc goes over and he starts, injecting that stuff that's going to put him in that coma. And he says, "Hey, wait, I'm supposed to get out of here." Oh, think again, Steve. The doc had you in his sights all the time. Tells her story about how she thought it took forever for her AT&T phone to work when her family was caught in that burning building. And she explains in her video she thought it was just a time seeming to stand still, excuse me. But yes, he tries to call me right now. AT&T just requested with a backup noise, Lori's hatred backup noise. They're taunting a man in a wheelchair, and you, that's your family's hijacked lifeline. So she calls for her son Tim in that burn unit, and she gets AT&T on speakerphone too as she tries to call me, and she says, "You can alter phone records all you want. America has your phone gate, your bloody hands on video." A Jared, a Mormon cult, Utonian trooper or other cop, thug, had just gotten a call from Adam. And he asking why he can't reach me, 424-229-4140, and what the cult, the Mormon cult, Muslim cults, Chinese and AT&T's party is in that, and Jared just flies off the handle. He starts throwing stuff, yelling, screaming, "Who the hell are you? Where'd you get my number?" And Adam says, "I'm on a military base. I'm making a video of this call, and I just texted and emailed all of Utah's corrupt, cowardly cops to concerned Americans and other cops across America. Do that. Call them up 24/7. You find out what else they're planning. Another Saudi Arabian 9/11? Solari Enterprises requested this Mormon Muslim AT&T Chinese watch call list image. Put them on it. All Solari Enterprises making a lot of money off of this apartment complex and many others. You call them on that 24/7. You got the time and the date in your video. You got them on speakerphone. You're trying to call me. They have had 2 years to address the noise harassment coming from the Mormon Muslim cult's apartment directly below me, and they have been an active part in not addressing that. Maid at the Senate comes running into the break room. She's angry as anything, and the other maid says, "What's wrong?" She says, "It's the fur ball." Yeah, the fur ball is with Solari Enterprises. He's shedding up a storm. She has to get out the vacuum. Get the truth out of them, guys. Here's how you do it. You call them 24/7, park a fleet of noisemakers outside their homes. Honk for the Lord, and let them know you got an eye on them, and find out what else they're involved in. Solari Enterprises, every single one of them. A couple of quick Melton's graphic art photo videos, because the Mormon cult with their Muslim cult brothers on hand with Solari Enterprises' full blessing. Asking Enrique Vergara and all members of Solari Enterprises here in Los Angeles, when else is your family's lifeline not going to be allowed to work because of what they're an active part in? Let me switch my muscles a little sore, and yes, they started that hatred noise up. As I'm transferring from gold here, out of to gold from the shower, an attempt often done with AT&T, which bought Spectrum to harass me. They're very loud, decibel law breaking fleet often done. As I'm transferring from one, the shower chair, to two, gold here. So call them on that. They're actively involved in your child's hijack lifeline, your family's hijack lifeline. 424-229-4140. 24/7. Mormon cult, Muslim cult, all on American soil, Chinese, AT&T. Remember the post? Where the hell do you get off threatening my family? You spoiled little rich kid. Somebody keeps handing out Randall Stevenson and other like Rose. Their home and cell phone, work and home numbers. I hear it's folks with the military not liking their threat to America's security as a phone monopoly with bloody hands hijacking America's lifelines. Not one Platinum 3 check in a decade of asking. No certified, no non-certified mail in that decade. But this is about Randall Stevenson altering phone records to cover up his bloody hatred. Randall Stevenson himself, CEO of AT&T, has dropped in on an orientation, HR kind of thing, and he knows how to motivate. So he tells them, "You're gonna like working for AT&T? Got an ex-wife you wanna keep tabs on? Someone you don't like from school? Celebrity? Want to check in on a celebrity, a politician, senator? We'll show you how to do that." And one of the guys there says, "Why are your hands red?" And Randall smiles and says, "Oh, I like to dip my hands in blood." What's the best reason for the Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, and Chinese watch call list? You remember Mormon and Muslim missionary efforts with 9/11, don't you? Oh, Mormons have a lot of Muslim brothers on college campuses in Utah because of shared values, hatred of America being the top of the list. But yeah, I designed this image because I've witnessed it 24/7 as I've asked for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade and have not gotten one yet. For those Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese watch call list numbers, call them 24/7. You try to call me in front of them. What's the best reason to do that? You can't reach me by phone, mail, or internet. And you don't know what the hell they're planning next. Keep an eye on them. Let them know you're keeping an eye on them too. So the sergeant comes running up to the general and he says, AT&T has shut down America's lifeline. And the general says, I warned him about that monopoly, that dangerous monopoly with Randall Stevenson based in Dallas's bloody hands. Hijacking your calls to me right now. That's my number, 424-229-4140, and altering phone records for over a decade to cover that up and many other crimes. So the general goes to the eye in the sky, and yes, it's what he suspected. All kinds of Saudi Arabian Muslim terrorists pouring out of Utah. That's why whenever you see the Mormon cult case in the neighborhood, the only ones home are the kids after school. Honk at them. You're part of the Military Pitbull Project. Watch call list. Call all Mormons, Chinese, Muslims, AT&T. Try to call me with them on speakerphone. Ask them what else are you involved in. Get them a little angry, they'll tell you. Is talking to Michael Moore, LAPD chief, and the senator says, is the position of the LAPD to take part in harassing and terrorizing a man in a wheelchair? Didn't you take oaths? Or do you not have oaths in California to take? What is your very active part, Michael Moore? Telling a man in a wheelchair you can't get into his apartment complex is not once, half dozen to a dozen times. What is your part in that, Michael Moore? Should the rest of us, the senator says, not be sending our families out there to vacation because of your terrorism, Michael? So, the FBI goes into Randall Stevenson's office. It's, on his Dell, and nobody's there. They're doing a little investigation. Well, I've been asking for Flight 93 checks for over a decade. I have yet to get one. And they find this kind of a red handprint on his phone. Yeah, he likes to dip his hands in blood for those who he has taken an active part in hijacking their lifeline. See, yours hijacked right now as you try to call me. 424-229-4140. And yeah, if you're you run a hospital or something, and Randall Stevenson, CEO of AT&T, is donating something, he's going to expect a little something in return. Those phones that didn't work right, and they ended up there at the morgue. Yeah, he's going to want the blood. He likes to dip his hands in it. Good news, yeah, they can get the print off the phone, or the popcorn he uses there to entertain himself. Bond takes off from his job at LA's Department of Water and Power. Yeah, he can do that. He's a very humorous military Mormon, Muslim, a gym kind of thing from those who are involved in military selling out America in Utah. And he takes off. He's been getting the calls all day. Other employees of LA Department of Water and Power have been getting the calls and asking him about it, and he's going down the street and someone asks him again, and he just starts yelling and screaming. We're actively taking part in your hijacked lifeline. It's going to be just as newsworthy if you need the firemen, police, paramedics. Well, at least it's the truth. And Moo, his wife from the Mideast, yes, he's having the same trouble and doing the same thing. John Milton Brady, before you come out here as a tourist to California, you check your family's lifeline with any and all officials of California. Cops, firemen, mayors, senators. If you can't reach me, and no one has yet with a 911 Flight 93 check, you need to get them to tell you why. Do that tourist Flight 93 check. They don't give you a good answer, and there is none. It's censorship. You take your tourist bucks elsewhere. A Cheryl Bond of the Department of LA Water and Power quickly pulls up his pants. And the Mormon pervert missionary with him gets to his feet. And Cheryl explains quickly, we were just taking an active part in America's hijacked lifelines as we're in charge of a major metropolitan's water and power. Yeah, 1 in 30 people live in LA County. Remember to call David Bright, the boss of Cheryl Bond, and ask him, why is that man taking an active part in America's hijacked lifelines, harassing the man in a wheelchair and my family? What's your part in that, David? So Randall Stevenson is soaking his hands in blood. And the secretary walks in and she says, where do you get that blood? And he says, oh, you donate a wing to a hospital and they'll draw some blood. Meanwhile, this family that was in a car wreck, and they had that one of those visor things, cameras on, and yes, they it took forever for that phone to work, AT&T's phone, to get that ambulance there. The nurse is in the hospital with the survivors of that car wreck, and the guy says, why do you have to draw out a pint of blood to test it? And she says, well, Randall's got to soak. Cheryl Bond of LA Department of Water and Power, 24/7, 365. Park your noisemaker, and that's very low noisemaker compared to AT&T's hatred. Park your noisemaker outside of his office, his home. He's the traitor brother of Samuel Lynn Bond with the devil, Lori Ann Brady Bond, my personal knife in the back sister. Their hatred affects you because that's your family's lifeline being hijacked as you try to call me. You don't know when else Lori's hatred, Cheryl's hatred, Moo's hatred, Sam's hatred will be affecting your family's lifeline. So you get their numbers, you call them up 24/7. You call everybody you know in LA, in the military, and they say, why the hell can't I reach Melton by phone? What's your part in that? Post. That's AT&T's bloody hatred. This is my links Excel for youtube.com/DNFD series. Actually, it's for a few YouTubes, but I just added the 12th of May 2019 through the 18th. I joined dailies on their way to being joined series at the end of the month. Look for it. I don't think I'll get up the links Excel up to the OneDrive, and I still haven't gotten on the Google Drive yet. But yeah, just hit the links and yes, up at the top here is where you get my number, and also in my imagery, try to call me with AT&T, all AT&T employees on speakerphone. Park your noisemakers, your fleets of them outside of every single AT&T employee's home, as well as Spectrum. They bought Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. And remember to, those of you who know how to, send something with a GPS to that address. That's mine right here. It's going to be stolen if it's got my address on it, and you'll find those particularly in government and military positions, compromising the security of America. Not only getting their hands bloody, hijacking calls, but altering phone records to cover them up. That's AT&T. And yes, I don't think AT&T handles the stolen mail, but yeah, locate those stolen mail warehouses all across America And yes, you'll find the losers of last political elections there. They're flyers in those warehouses, and yes, that's how they placed the cowardly Hussein in our White House. Right up, we got taken by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins, and yeah, not a fan of the Oriental buffoon Russian guy either. See a vapor trail. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Make that video. Of your hijack, call to me. 424-229-4140. You got the time on your phone, you got the date in your video. You got AT&T's bloody hands. You got PhoneGate. Let's see if I can find it real quick, my latest image. Remember to honk when you see those Mormon cult perverts casing your neighborhoods or someone else in your city's neighborhood, when the only ones home are your kids after school. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. And honk at them. Let them know somebody's watching. And yes, call up all Mormons. Put them on speakerphone. You try to call me, 424-229-4140. Tell them their cult is taking a very active part in America's hijacked lifelines, and you'd like to know why they're doing that, and you'd like them to write you, your city, and America off their cult sales route. Come to post whatever they tell you about their cult when they're a little angry that they didn't mean to tell you as you were checking your family's lifeline with them on speakerphone. Here, AT&T's hatred. Check in and post in 5 Flight 93 check with all of them on speakerphone. Put your noisemakers outside their homes. All AT&T employees, the low level ones, will tell you what the upper level ones, what treason they are a part of. You spark your noisemakers outside, you call them 24/7, and you try to call me and you want to know when else your family's lifeline won't be allowed to work because of what they're a part of. You call them on that day off, 24/7, when Randall Stevenson has been overworking them, when they're just smoked some dope, or perhaps they got home from the bar, had a fight with their girlfriend, and they will tell you what else they're involved in besides hijacking America's lifelines. Do that. Don't forget the Mormons and the Muslims and the Chinese. All of those 4 sets of folks that are very active in America's hijacked lifelines around me. Call them up 24/7, find out what else they're doing. Post. There is a Saudi Arabian city by the sea that is part of the Great Wall of Chinese hatred. And as part of the Christmas cards each year, they will put up something to the effect, an atheist, I believe, saying that religion is nothing more than mythology and fables. So here's a nice parable video for you about Jesus walking up to a great wall of hate that they can see from outer space. And he uses the domino effect of truth. He pushes against it, and the whole damn wall of hate comes down, and we start to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Be a part of that. The devil, Lori Ann Brady Bond, personal knife in the back sister. Last time I talked to them, they were living, and her and her gay husband, living in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the middle of nowhere in a trailer. He works in the medical community. The gay guy, Samuel Lynn Bond, has the Department of Water Power, Cheryl Bond, with his Iranian wife, Moo, out here. You need to check and post N5 in front of all of them and find out if Cheryl is doing anything else to compromise the security of Los Angeles and America. Besides taking active part in America's high-tech lifelines, and Lori has been hearing the backup noise and this and that and calls 24/7, and she screams at this guy. Why? Why are you doing this? And he says, because you're an active part in my child's lifeline not working. You've made it incredibly personal, you devil bitch from hell. That's why we are doing this. What else are you involved in, devil bitch Lori? Hear AT&T's hatred commercial on TV or in a parking lot near you. Yeah, they're harassing a man in a wheelchair and you. That's your family's lifeline, not allowed to work as you tried to call me. Call AT&T on that. Put all AT&T employees' numbers on the backs of those pipes, and especially if you park noisemakers outside of their homes. They will tell you what else they're involved in or what else Randall Stevenson is getting the company, AT&T, their hands bloody with. They will tell you. So you call 24/7, you try to call me with them on speakerphone, tell them, got the time, the date. In my video, I got whatever boring thing I get when I don't get MELTON. I've got AT&T's bloody hands, I've got AT&T's phone gate. Remember to post. Try to call me with a whole lot of reporters in front of you and on speakerphone as well. Show them how to do their job. Here's Siren, 911, Flight 93, checking posted 5, trying to call me MELTON. You want to know why America's lifelines are not working? When you do, and when else they won't be allowed to work. 911, Flight 93, checking post in 5. Whatever boring thing you get, it's not going to be boring. You need the firemen, police, paramedics ain't getting that. So every time you hear a siren, make that video. Your hijack call to MELTON. 424-229-4140, and you don't know when else that phone won't be allowed to work. You got AT&T's bloody-handed phone gate. Word enough about the crimes to alter phone records to cover them up. Get it on video. And yes, have all AT&T employees on speakerphone as you try to call me. Tell them you can alter phone records all you want. We've got your phone gate on video. What else are you up to that compromises the security of our nation and our families? You see all those folks out there, they're working hard, being an active part in America's hijack lifelines for Randall Stevenson. He bought AT&T to harass a man in a wheelchair and you. That's your family's lifeline. Not one Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. They're working hard, and you know what? You call them up 24/7, you park a fleet of noisemakers that they can easily turn off. They demonstrate that often to taunt. You park a fleet of noisemakers outside of each and every one of these folks' homes. You call them up 24/7. As you do that, they will tell you what other treason, what other threat to America's security Randall Stevenson is getting their hands very personally bloody with. Do that. AT&T threatening your child. Try to call me right now with your child's lifeline. 424-229-4140. Make a video of it. Then call up all AT&T employees. Get their bloody hands on video. Tell them you got the time and the date in your video you're making right then and there with them on speakerphone. You got my number dialed. You've got every single AT&T employee there is, including Spectrum. You got their bloody hands. Same as the Muslims and the Chinese being an active, and the Mormons, active part of America's hijacked lifeline. Make that video, post that video with all AT&T employees on speakerphone. Ask them why they hate so much. That's your child's lifeline. Me, my disciples. Living excrement on hand. Take your pick. Chinese, Muslim, Mormon, AT&T. Dishonoring veterans by changing the perverts into perverts. And I have to go in and fix it, so it takes twice as long. That's a Chinese tale and a half of the devil's people, source of all evil for the others. So this is my new. Also had the shaking added a lot lately, meaning the excrement on hand with the Chinese have drugs of choice, and as the Mormons have said often lately, they're seizing. I think it means they're coming out of detox or something. Don't know. All I know is my videos are altered and I need my disciples to do my work properly. Get me, my disciples, and look for a whole lot of pain, more than usual, for those on hand. Can someone get my computer to respond? Thank you. Let's make it a 10-minute video, because Mormon pathetic losers and their Muslim shit counterparts don't want my new slideshow here to come up. Make that video, post that video, and get the man, handsome bald guy, with a whole lot of good imagery of truth about the Mormons and Muslims, AT&T and Chinese. Get me my disciples so I can do a dad's work. Look for the handsome bald guy, sometimes wearing a hat outside for sure. Sunglasses or glasses, and a sleek wheelchair right beside me, or at least right under me. Let's get started building a better world. Get some popcorn. We got a lot of folks been on their way to hell for a long time. Here to be, yeah, something to do about the Cheryl Bond thing, I'm thinking. Get that popcorn. We got some witnesses doing our fun fiction. Helicopter without a man walking menacingly with a baseball bat on the walkway out there. I'll have to take it out. Do that 9/11 Flight 93, check and post about the last helicopter video. I think it's the same helicopter. So that, you know, I can replace. But yeah, I think the man walking menacingly with the baseball bat had to do with those on hand, the Mormons, the Muslim cults, and the Chinese literally setting off a fire alarm. They do that, have over the years. But at least in Hussein's Arabia, where I had to spend 3 long years, because you can't reach me by phone. You don't know when else your phone won't be allowed to work properly, and mine certainly isn't working properly as I'm looking for a better place to live. There, when they set off the fire alarm, I wasn't in a wheelchair on the 3rd floor. I'm in a wheelchair on Gold here on the 4th floor, and they're setting off a fire alarm. Not only setting off a fire alarm, as I'm going to process the monthlies, they have altered there was no hatred music, excuse me, rap music playing during it. So they did two things. They placed a child dressed in red outside on the walkway. Yes, the same walkway there. Yeah, I'm not going to put someone's kid in my video. And then I made a video of the video, and they altered that, placing the hatred rap music in there. So make that video of your hijack call to me. Mormons, Muslims, Cowardly Hussein placing Muslims active around me constantly. From that Muslim, Mormon, Chinese, and AT&T with their fleet of noisemakers to harass. They bought Spectrum. Form that, the next, I don't have it, I'm going to try to get it with the next printout. Form it, call, left and right. You know about the Mormon cult doing their pervert missionary work when the only one's home are your kids after school. You know about that. And you know about the Muslims' missionary work. Yes, 9/11. And I've been telling you about your hijack lifeline for over a decade without getting one call. That's a lot of AT&T altered phone records. Their bloody hands and the Chinese constant around me. So make that video, form those watch call lists, call them up, let them know you're keeping an eye on them, and you want to know if they know anything about you not reaching me with a 911 Flight 93 checking over a decade, no certified mail, non-certified mail in that decade. Send me something with a GPS and watch them steal it. And then use that GPS to find out where the stolen mail warehouses are. Oh, the devil Lori, personal knife in the back. Sister, she can reach me by phone and yes, by mail as well. Ask her how she does that, in case your family is the target of political, religious, and business censorship. You need to know what that bitch knows, Lori and Brady Bond, to get your phone to work in that emergency. Ask her, what do you know about this? What's your part in America's hijack lifelines? Pose. So Tony's in the hospital. In the garbage truck. He's backing up outside and he tells his buddy, Al. Yeah, that sound was right there. As I was calling 911 and I couldn't reach them. Yeah, AT&T loves to taunt. Call them on it. Your phone, you thought it worked slow in an emergency, but you figured it was an emergency, that's why it worked slow. Yeah, try to call me and make a video of AT&T's bloody handed hatred. Time and date on your phone and any video. Me dialed 424-229-4140. Get them compromising the security of America and your family. Post. Or get them a little angry and they'll tell you what else they're doing. Besides hijacking America's lifelines. 911 Flight 93 check and post inside. All blonde and near blonde college girls, pick up your phone right now. Try to call me, Melton, designer of this imagery here, 424-229-4140. Yes, I'm a handsome bald guy. Try to call me and see the devil. The stealing art. Stealing beauty. Do something about that. come see Melton in person. And let me define graphic art with your beauty. Here, that's my address, 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. I just laminated these. Got a whole bunch of them. And yes, gonna cut them out, and I think just, you know, putting them, you know, in front, kind of one at a time with the Nikon camera I got will work quite well. These are the 2 to 4x6 print. Come see me in person when your phone is stolen. You call 424-229-4140. Come see me in person. Tell me all about that saint that needs an image. Yes, it's my new external hard drive label.